I can't even believe what I'm saying. I can't even believe what I am fucking saying. But football, as we know it, is finished. It's done. I've supported Man United for basically 30 years. I've known all about the history. I've been to the ground. I've walked up that steps and you get that magic aura of, wow, this is Old Trafford. This is where everybody else walks. This is the pitch that people see. This is the fans that, you know, this is the fans I hear on telly. I'm here. It's all gone. The entire legacy of the Busby Babes, of fighting for cups, it's been utterly fucking destroyed by American owners and billionaire owners trying to franchise a league, break away from the Premier League, undo all of the history and build a European Super League, with people that are effectively the 6 richest clubs at this moment in time, and they have been placed inside of that league, not on merit, not on greatness, not on history, on richness, on money. It's billionaires that are bored and are playing with their money because they don't know what else to spend it on. So they're like, hey, let's go and buy football and let's turn our 100 billion into 200 billion. So basically, for those that don't know, I'm obviously an absolutely massive football fan. I don't really discuss it on the channel. Watch every single game. I was there, you know, when I was at my sister's wedding, I'd be watching the game. I was watching Leicester versus Manchester United. I was glancing at my phone under the screen and the few people in the suits and ties were asking me what's the score, and it was the game that Jamie Vardy broke Ruud van Nistelrooy's scoring record. It was that day. I'm absolutely passionate about football. It's all about the fans. It's about the history. It's about the legacy. And it's been completely and utterly destroyed because a bunch of millionaires have decided to do this. So what they've decided to basically do, they've decided to sort of break away from the Premier League, break away from the Champions League, all the UEFA Cups, the Carling Cup, all of this shit, to form their own league where the founders, the quote founders, are getting humongous bonuses. We're talking 300 plus million, billions going in to these clubs to be in this league. And all of a sudden, we'll have super squads. We'll play Wednesday versus Barcelona, and then your B team plays so-and-so. And we'll scoop up all of the talent of all of the small clubs, and we'll say, oh, you want to play for West Ham in the Premier League, do you? Okay, well, you can do that, or you can come and join our super squad that we own. So the Manchester United owners are one of the biggest ones to blame, and we have had a hand in destroying football because the Manchester United owners have concocted this idea and created this Super League, and they're at the head of the table. They are at the head of the table in terms of we run this league, we own this league, and you can't have a fair and balanced league when you own it. It just doesn't make any sense. I can't even formulate words at the moment of how unbelievably frustrating this is. Everything that I've watched, everything is meaningless. To give you an example, we had COVID. Everyone said, let's put football on television, let's improve people's mental health, let's put football on the television for free. Oh no, not anymore. Now it's a Super League. Now that's irrelevant. Fans mean so much. You'll never walk alone. All of this stuff. Oh no, that's irrelevant. All of this stuff, I can't even form words. That's how mad I am. All of this, you'll never work alone. It's for the people. We're socialists. Bill Shankly. All of this, it's absolute bollocks. It's millionaire owners wanting to franchise a league and quote follow the NBA model. Now, American people probably don't understand what's so bad. The franchising model is it's not European. It's so bad. So effectively, we're going to have these super squads. We're gonna have these unbelievably rich squads, and these modern fans are gonna go, oh yeah, we can afford to buy Haaland, we can afford to buy Mbappe. You know what's mental? PSG are actually taking the high road and saying we're not going to be involved in this. And when PSG are looking like the good guys, you know you fucked up. But you know it's absolutely stunned me. It's been pushed under our nose. Whilst this pandemic's gone on, that's killed probably millions at this point, or at least affected millions and millions and millions of people. And they decided that, hey, we don't need fans. Now that we've had COVID without fans, We can actually survive without fans, so let's move it. And you know what this means? You know what this means? It's the start of the end. It means that all of the small clubs will eventually lose their money. The TV money, the money that you get up for going into the Premier League, it'll all be lower and lower and lower. Because it won't be as prestigious as the Super Club league. And eventually all of the talents will be hoovered up and all of the small clubs will be slowly dissolved. And you have clubs like Tottenham in it. You have clubs like Arsenal in it. Clubs like City in it that have never won the Champions League. And yet they're breaking away from the Champions League as if they're too good for it to form a European Super League Cup. It's absolutely mental. So football as we know it, that we've all enjoyed for our entire lives, is done. It's done. And I can't believe that Manchester United, Liverpool, are some of the biggest clubs that have had the biggest input in effectively ruining football. So what's going to happen to these Americanized franchise leagues is Manchester United and Liverpool will be sat at the table together because they're co-owners. They'll be sat discussing how to run the league, what clubs get what bonuses, how many people should we allow in the squad, all these rules and regulations. And we're meant to pretend that we have a rivalry now. It's just Americanized the whole system. What? We have a rivalry with Liverpool when they're both sat at the heads of the tables creating the rules and fucking over everybody and raking in billions and billions and billions. There's some of the stuff that I've read is just absolutely staggering. The founding clubs are going to receive 3.5 billion in their infrastructure plans to offset the pandemic, as if Manchester United were going broke because of the pandemic. Bayern Munich, Leipzig, undecided on whether to join it, but Bayern Munich are fan-owned, so I hope to God they can stay strong and not join it. And this has been coming. For example, during the pandemic, people are saying it's bad for Sky and it's bad for BT because they won't get their money because a new broadcaster's going to be sold the rights. Games could be held. It won't be suddenly, if it's an all-English final, the Champions League won't be Wembley. It'll be who's the highest bidder, Qatar, China, these types of places will be buying it. And let's not forget, these are the same companies that tried to charge people £15 pay-per-view for West Ham versus fucking Burnley in the middle of a pandemic when everyone had lost their job. So everyone has been going on about this, and it's been the second these billionaire owners came in that have no interest in football, it fucking ruined it. So the Glazers came into Manchester United. They've never spoke about Man U, never done an interview about Man U, nothing. But now he's doing interviews, and hear this. The bloke that's never spoke about Man U, that doesn't give a single shit about Man U, is one of the vice presidents of the league. And 2 years ago, the bloke did an interview and he said, I still don't understand the offside rule. It's confusing. And now he is running the league. This has literally nothing to do with football. It has nothing to do with improving leagues. It has nothing to do with trickle-down economics and helping the smaller clubs. Do not be fooled. This is about billionaire owners wanting more billions. That is all it is about. That's all it is about. And honestly, if Jurgen Klopp walks away from Liverpool and he says, I don't want to manage Liverpool and be in a Super League, fair play. If Jose, which he's been sacked right now, he's just been sacked, if he's walked away because he don't want to be in a Super League, fair play. Any player that doesn't want to play in it, fair play. But you can't blame the players. If they're going to be paid double, triple to be in the Super League, you can't expect them to walk away from it. It is their job. I don't blame the players. It's the greedy fucking owners. It's an embarrassment that the Liverpool and all the people that have come before us, the Busby Babes, people that have literally died for the club to win European Cups, and all of a sudden we're leaving it. We're leaving it, are we? So the rule is that UEFA are trying to hold is every club and player participating in the Super League could be banned from all UEFA and FIFA competitions, European or international level. But here's the thing. So, for example, Spurs are now doing a cover-up job of, we've announced that we've joined the Super League, which we don't deserve to be in, by the way, and we've sacked Jose. Now, why would you sack Jose just before a cup final? It doesn't make any sense, does it? Jose's a cup winner. You've never won a cup before. So let's get they've won cups in the past, but more recently they've never won a cup. And let's get Jose. No, they've sold him and they've booted him out because it's a great cover story to sweep under the rug of the Super League. But also hear this. There's been very little manager sackings, hasn't there, during this window, during this Prem. Why? Because they've been waiting for the payments. Jose's an expensive manager to sack, and you think it's a coincidence that suddenly Spurs have got 350 million money in the back pocket and now they can boot out Jose? You think it's a coincidence that Frank, who was in the Champions League, he was 4 points off top four, he was in the Champions League, was sacked? Why was he sacked? To get Thomas Tuchel in to lead the new Super League club. Why? Oh, he's in the Champions League. You can't sack Frank. Well, they don't care about the Champions League because they know they've been going to break away from the Champions League and form their own tournament. So they're saying Jose's been sacked because of performance reasons. Oh, he's not making the top four. He's not done well in the Champions League or the Europa League. It doesn't matter. You're not in those competitions anymore. So let's not pretend like you've sacked Jose for those reasons. I hope to God Jose stood up and gave them the fucking right hook, mate, and said, fuck you, mate, I'm not managing this shit. I honestly, it is unbelievable. All the people like chairmans, all these people are stepping down and resigning. People from Juve stepping down. Why? Because they've got a new job that's secure with new money. Joel Glazer, who's never done an interview in 16 years of owning Manchester United. How can you own Manchester United and never talk about Manchester United? If I owned Manchester United, I'd never shut up about them. And yet, he's done an interview saying it's going to help the wider football pyramid. He doesn't even understand what football is, mate. It's billionaires trying to make more billions. It's American owners trying to franchise the league, and you know it's going to be soon. Well, let's sell the rights to Man U versus Real Madrid midweek to this place, and the players have to fly over. What about all the families that run the clubs? What, do they have to travel back and forth to all these countries now every day? Football, as we know it, is done. The lack of sacking managers makes complete sense. They've known they're going to be in a Super League. So Arteta, Jose, they seem like they've been under no pressure because maybe they've had no ambition. But really, league position just hasn't mattered for many, many months because they know, hey, we're probably not even going to be in the Prem. We're not going to be in any of these tournaments. So what's the point of sacking him? Oh, now that we've got the money, now we can kick him out. Or maybe Jose has kicked up a fuss and now we've got the money to get rid of him. You know, PSG apparently could be crowned the UEFA Champions League winners today because all of the remaining teams, Chelsea, Real Madrid, City, the last remaining teams in the Champions League, are all in the Super League and they're going to be banned from competitions. UEFA is going to try ban every team and player that participates in the new Super League from stuff like the World Cup. So the World Cup as you know it, you know, all of the small clubs that have this trickle-down effect that are surviving, just barely surviving. Think about this. Gary Neville said that during the pandemic, it took them 12 months to get a £30 million rescue package for all of the lower league clubs to help them survive with no fans and COVID. 12 months it took them 30 million. And like that, overnight, with a click of a finger, clubs are getting billions and billions and billions for forming a new Super League, and they can't even hand out 30 million to the lower league clubs. Your West Hams, your Boltons, your Portsmouth, your Prestons, these clubs are fucked, mate. They're absolutely fucked because you're all on that ladder, you're all climbing up that table, paying and improving your squad for the dream of getting in the Premier League. That's gone now. And even if it falls on its face, do not forget what they tried to do. They tried to ruin football, and I believe it's gone through anyway, and there's no stopping it. But what's also going to happen is these teams are going to get these huge bonuses for being in this league, and they're thinking we're going to get 300, 400 million pounds each a season extra, and they're going to waltz back into the Premier League like they used to do, and say to a Aston Villa, oh, you know, you've got your £100 million of your TV money, Aston Villa, and Jack Grealish is worth £100 million because he keeps us up in the league and he gets us 100 million. So Man U currently say, well, we can't really afford to spend that, and, you know, technically it's not worth our investment. All of a sudden now you get $400 million, euros, pounds to be in this league, and all of a sudden you can walk up to Aston Villa and say, you want 100 million for Jack Grealish, do you? Okay, we'll buy him because we need him for the Super League, and he'll be gone, you know, because you'll probably offer him such monumental wages, and you'll say you get to play against all the best players. do all this, and they won't have a cat in hell's chance because they'll suddenly need the money from the super clubs to survive because their own league is fucked. So it's the slow destruction of all of the other leagues. And I hope that Jose has had some morals and said fuck you. I hope that Klopp has some morals and says fuck you. You know what? I'd be more than happy if Ole Gunnar Solskjaer walked and said, I ain't managing this club, mate. I'm not watching. I'm not watching that Super League. And if this is what football has become, I'm done. I'm done with football. I like the fact that yesterday I could sit and I could cheer the fact that Chelsea beat City because there is a rivalry and it means that City couldn't do the quadruple or the OG treble. The OG treble doesn't even matter anymore because it doesn't even exist. No one else can win it because you're done. You know, it doesn't exist anymore, basically. They're trying to say that the Champions League, Europa League, and Premier Leagues will continue with absolute normality. And the Manchester United haven't even done a tweet to say that what they've done. They haven't even come out to say we've joined. At least the other clubs, the other shitting clubs, have at least had the balls to come out and say, you know what, we've joined a Super League and we've formed it. Man United have said nothing. 3.5 billion from joining this fund, and they want even more of that money. This is how it's gonna start. It's gonna start out by saying Manchester United versus Tottenham Wednesday night in the Super League, and for the first year it might be interested. Second year you can't be relegated, yada yada yada. You're stuck in this franchise league. Suddenly you've played Real Madrid 42 times. It means nothing. And all of a sudden, if you start the season poorly and you can't win the Super League, you can't be relegated, you'll just rest up and then play for the cup or play for whatever, and the rights, it'll be Americanized. It'll be, this is your Motorola VAR stoppage time sponsored by Amazon. It'll be sold to stadiums. It'll be more corruption, more money, and it's the billionaires. They don't need any more fucking money. The lower league clubs need the money. So Manchester United, the club I've grown up supporting, that I've watched forever. I've watched people dream of winning the World Cup. Kids play in the streets and they dream of, like, one day I could play for England, I could be the guy that wins the World Cup for England, or I could be the guy, like, say, Bruno Fernandes, I'm going to sign for Man U, and we've had 10 years of winning nothing, and we're going to turn it round and win the Prem. That's all gone. The dreams of the kids and the dreams of the players have been utterly destroyed by a group of American money men and billionaire owners that have no interest in football. It's sports washing of the highest order. If you don't know what sports washing is, it's basically a corrupt regime, horrible people, basically making their business seem clean by buying a nice sound institute like a British football club and doing well in that area. And they think, well, they're doing quite well for Tottenham, they're doing quite well for Manchester United, they're doing quite well for City, they're doing quite well for Chelsea, so they must be all right people. It's preying on people that have deep connections to a club, and they are exploiting their desire to want to see their club do well that they watched with their granddad, their grandma. It's exploiting them to brainwash that the regime and everything's going on fine because they're helping their club that they have a connection to. I can't even understand it. Mesut Özil, growing up, kids dream of winning the World Cup and the Champions League, not a Super League. The enjoyment of the big games is that they only happen once a year, maybe once every few years. It's really hard to understand for football fans out there. Ed Woodward joined JP Morgan in 1999. In 2005, he advised that the Glazers purchased Manchester United, and Manchester United was purchased in debt. In 2021, JP Morgan financed the European Super League with Manchester United as the reported ringleaders. I don't even know what to say, man. The sport I've grown up watching, I never thought that football would end like this. I always thought it would be, I'd be watching it forever, basically, until I died. It would be like, like I was saying before, I watched Manchester City lose to Chelsea, and I celebrated that because they couldn't do the treble. I have no interest in that anymore. Oh, what am I meant to celebrate? That we're in the top 4? It doesn't matter if you get top 4. It doesn't matter. You're not going into the Champions League. You're not winning the Champions League. You won't be doing the FA Cup. You won't be doing the Carabao Cup. Those things don't exist. So I had to put this video on my channel. I'm not. There's so much more I could say. So much more I could say, but I just want to know, what do you guys think? Because I'm sure there's football fans that watch me. I'm absolutely devastated, mate. I can't even believe. I can't even believe it. And people will say the players need to stand up. The players should not play. The players can't help it. Your career's short. If you all say a Dan James, a Harry Maguire, and you've been signed to Manchester United, and all of a sudden they say, yo, we can pay you more, and you get to play all of the best players for a few years, you know, you don't know, you might break your leg, you might have a crippling injury, you might have cardiac arrest that takes you out of the game. You've got to make your money whilst you can. I've no problem with that. This isn't on the players. The players don't need to do a stand. What needs to happen is governments need to set in to stop this monopoly, need to do something, but I think it's too late. It's been swept under. The most disgusting thing about it is it was swept under us during a pandemic where when people were dying, people were fighting for their lives and trying to just survive. They were building a European Super League to knock down one of the only things that have kept people going, sport. So I have no words. Manchester United have played one of the largest hands in killing football, and I can't support that. It's disgusting, absolutely disgusting, and all of the clubs involved in it are absolutely disgusting. For all I care, if we're still in the Premier League, which I don't even know if we are anymore, just fucking relegate us. Relegate us, finish us, mate. We're done. I have no interest in that. It's all the Sir Alex Ferguson spent his whole life building this club up. For what? So some fucking American owners could go and franchise it and create a Super League and sell the TV rights. No, like I can't. I just don't even know what to say, man. I don't even know what to say. I'm sure I've missed 500 points. I'm sure I've forgotten so many things I wanted to say. But it's just utterly disgusting. I don't even know. You know, they're also calling current fans legacy fans, like legacy fans of the previous league, as if the league existed for a year, as if it's esports or something, where leagues and teams disband. People have supported these clubs and these leagues for hundreds of years. Football started from poor people. You know, I was listening when I was watching the FA Cup the other day. One of the clubs got to the FA Cup final about 100 years ago and couldn't afford to turn up to the ground to play the final and drive up to Wembley in London, so they forfeited. That's where football began. And now you've got billionaires that don't even know the offside rule running leagues to take over Manchester United and take over all these other small clubs and hoover up their talent to create a Super League. I've absolutely no interest in that, and I'm sure loads of modern fans will say this is great. I'll watch it. I'll start supporting X team and Y, and they'll get these new fair weather day tripping modern fans. I'm done with that, mate. I can't support that, man.